What makes you jump out of bed in the morning? What pushes you to try again after a setback? This invisible force, this inner push or outer pull, is what we call motivation. It's the reason we do anything at all. Think of it as the engine that powers your actions, big or small, from finishing a challenging project at work to simply making a cup of tea. It's the desire or willingness to do something. Without it, even the simplest tasks can feel like climbing a mountain. Understanding this fundamental human drive is the very first step towards unlocking your own potential and achieving the things that truly matter to you in your life. Motivation isn't just one single thing, it's a complex tapestry woven from different threads. Sometimes it comes from deep within us, a personal satisfaction or a genuine interest in the task itself. Other times it might be sparked by external factors like a reward, a deadline, or the approval of others. It's not always about grand ambitions or world-changing goals. Motivation can be found in the quiet pursuit of a hobby, the dedication to learning a new skill, or the commitment to being a good friend. It's the why behind our what. Recognizing these different sources and how they influence us is key. Many people think motivation is something you either have or you don't, like a fixed trait. But that's not quite right. Motivation is more like a muscle. It can be strengthened and developed with the right approach and consistent effort. It can also fluctuate, ebbing and flowing depending on our circumstances, our mindset, and even our physical well-being. Understanding this fluctuating nature helps us to be kinder to ourselves during low periods and more proactive in seeking out ways to refuel our inner drive when it starts to dwindle. It's a dynamic process, not a static state. So the journey to unlocking your inner drive begins with this understanding. Motivation is essential, it's multifaceted, and it's something you can actively cultivate. It's not a magical gift bestowed upon a lucky few. It's a fundamental part of being human, accessible to everyone. By exploring what truly moves you, what excites you, and what gives you a sense of purpose, you can learn to harness this powerful force. This exploration will lead us to discover the different types of motivation and how they play out in our daily lives, shaping our choices and our achievements. Now let's delve into a very special kind of motivation, the kind that burns brightly from within. This is called intrinsic motivation. It's when you do something because it's inherently interesting or enjoyable. The reward is the activity itself. Think about a child completely absorbed in building a complex Lego castle, not for a prize, but for the sheer joy of creating and problem solving. That's intrinsic motivation in its purest form. It's the quiet satisfaction of mastering a difficult guitar chord, or the thrill of getting lost in a captivating book. This type of motivation is powerful because it's self-sustaining and deeply personal. Intrinsic motivation is often linked to our core psychological needs. We humans have a natural desire for autonomy, the need to feel in control of our own lives and choices. We also crave mastery, the urge to get better at things that matter to us. And finally, we seek purpose, the yearning to contribute to something larger than ourselves. When an activity aligns with these fundamental needs, intrinsic motivation flourishes. It doesn't require external prodding or coaxing, because the drive comes from an internal wellspring of satisfaction and engagement. It's the kind of work that doesn't feel like work at all. Consider the difference between someone who exercises because they genuinely love the feeling of movement and the challenge versus someone who exercises solely to lose weight for an upcoming event. The first person is intrinsically motivated. Their reward is the activity itself, the feeling of strength, the mental clarity. This internal drive is often more resilient in the face of obstacles. If they miss a day, they are more likely to return because the activity itself is fulfilling, not because of an external pressure that might fade or change over time. This deep internal connection fosters persistence. Therefore, understanding and nurturing intrinsic motivation is crucial if you want to build lasting drive. It's about finding what genuinely excites you, what challenges you in a satisfying way, and what connects with your personal values and sense of purpose. When you tap into this inner flame, you unlock a source of energy that is both powerful and sustainable. It's the secret to not just achieving goals, but also enjoying the journey along the way, finding fulfillment in the process itself rather than solely in the outcome. While intrinsic motivation comes from within, there's another force that often guides our actions: extrinsic motivation. This type of motivation involves doing something because you want to earn an external reward or avoid an external punishment. Think about working hard on a project to get a bonus, or studying diligently to get good grades and avoid disappointing your parents. The activity itself might not be inherently enjoyable, but the anticipated outcome, the reward or the avoidance of a negative consequence, provides the impetus to act. This is the world of if-then rewards. If you do this, then you get that. Extrinsic motivators are all around us. They include things like money, promotions, praise, awards, and even public recognition. They can also involve avoiding negative outcomes such as criticism, penalties, or losing one's job. These external factors can be very effective in the short term for getting specific tasks done, especially tasks that are routine, straightforward, or perhaps not very interesting on their own. For instance, a promise of extra screen time might motivate a child to tidy their room, a task they might otherwise resist strongly. These incentives can provide a necessary nudge. However, relying too heavily on extrinsic motivation can have its downsides, particularly when it comes to tasks that require creativity, complex problem-solving, or long-term commitment. Sometimes, when an external reward is introduced for an activity that was once intrinsically enjoyable, it can actually undermine that internal drive. The focus shifts from the joy of the activity itself to the pursuit of the reward. Once the reward is removed, the motivation to continue the activity may diminish or disappear entirely, a phenomenon known as the over-justification effect. This can turn play into work. So while extrinsic motivators have their place and can be useful tools in certain situations, it's important to use them wisely. They are often most effective when the task itself offers little intrinsic appeal. For tasks that are already engaging, or for fostering long-term passion and commitment, focusing solely on external rewards might not be the best strategy. It's about finding the right balance, understanding when an external push is helpful and when it might inadvertently dampen the more powerful, sustainable inner flame of intrinsic motivation. This balance is key to a well-rounded motivational approach. The traditional carrot and stick approach, offering rewards for good behavior and punishments for bad, has long been a staple in management and education. It's built on the idea that people are primarily driven by these external incentives. However, a wealth of research, and indeed common experience, tells us that this model is often incomplete and can even be counterproductive, especially for 21st century tasks that demand more than just compliance. When work is complex, creative, or requires deep thinking, relying solely on extrinsic motivators can lead to unintended negative consequences, limiting both performance and satisfaction. One famous study illustrating this is the candle problem, designed by psychologist Carl Duncker in the 1930s and later popularized in experiments by Sam Glucksberg. Participants were given a candle, a box of thumbtacks and matches, and asked to attach the candle to the wall so that wax wouldn't drip on the table. For those offered a monetary reward for solving it quickly, an extrinsic motivator, it actually took them longer on average to find the solution. The pressure of the reward seemed to narrow their focus, hindering the creative insight needed to see the thumbtack box as a shelf. This happens because extrinsic rewards can sometimes dull thinking and block creativity. When the focus is on the prize, people tend to take the most direct route, often missing more innovative or effective solutions. For tasks that are algorithmic, with a clear set of steps and a single right answer, rewards can sometimes boost performance. But for heuristic tasks, those that require experimentation and novel approaches, if-then rewards can be surprisingly detrimental. They can encourage short-term thinking and a focus on simply getting the reward rather than on learning, exploring, or doing high-quality work for its own sake. Furthermore, relying too much on external rewards can foster a transactional relationship with work or learning. People may become less likely to go the extra mile or help others unless there's a direct, tangible benefit for them. It can also lead to unethical behavior if the pressure to achieve the rewarded outcome becomes too intense. The surprising truth is that for many of the challenges we face today, the secret to high performance isn't more rewards and punishments, but a deeper connection to intrinsic motivators, autonomy, mastery, and purpose. These are the drivers that truly unlock potential. Section 5. Real stories, real drive, inspiration from everyday achievers. The power of intrinsic motivation isn't just a theory. We see it in action all around us, in the stories of people who achieve remarkable things, often without the promise of traditional rewards. Consider the countless volunteers who dedicate their time and energy to causes they believe in. They aren't paid, they don't receive promotions, yet they show up day after day, driven by a sense of purpose and a desire to make a difference. Their reward is the impact they create and the satisfaction of contributing to something larger than themselves. This is purpose in action, a powerful intrinsic motivator. Think also of hobbyists who spend hours perfecting a craft, whether it's woodworking, coding, playing a musical instrument, or gardening. They might spend significant money on materials and tools and countless hours practicing and learning, with no expectation of financial gain or public acclaim. Their motivation comes from the joy of creation, the challenge of improving their skills, and the deep satisfaction of mastery. They are driven by the intrinsic pleasure of the activity itself. This pursuit of getting better at something that matters is a fundamental human desire. Researchers have also documented this phenomenon in professional settings. Take, for example, the open source software movement. Programmers from all over the world contribute their expertise to projects like Linux or Apache, often for free. What drives them? Studies show it's often a combination of factors: the intellectual challenge, mastery, the ability to work on projects they find interesting, autonomy, and the desire to contribute to a shared resource and be part of a community, purpose. These intrinsic factors fuel innovation and collaboration on a massive scale, often outperforming well-funded corporate efforts. These stories, from community volunteers to dedicated hobbyists and open-source programmers, highlight a crucial truth. Human beings are not just profit maximizers, we are also purpose maximizers. We seek meaning, we crave challenge, and we thrive when we have control over our own endeavors. When these elements are present, motivation becomes a powerful self-renewing force. These examples remind us that the most profound drive often comes not from external incentives, but from the deep well springs of intrinsic desire that reside within each of us, waiting to be tapped. Section 6. Mastery's call, the joy of getting better. One of the most powerful intrinsic motivators is the pursuit of mastery. This is our innate desire to get better and better at something that matters to us. It's not about achieving perfection, because mastery is an asymptote, something you can approach but never fully reach. Instead, it's about the journey of continuous improvement, the engagement, the struggle, and the satisfaction of making progress. Think of an athlete striving to shave seconds off their time, a musician practicing scales to perfect their technique, or a writer painstakingly revising a sentence until it sings. This dedication is fueled by the intrinsic joy of growth. The path to mastery requires effort, grit, and a willingness to embrace challenges. It's about seeing mistakes not as failures, but as opportunities to learn and improve. Carol Dweck's research on growth mindset highlights this beautifully. Individuals with a growth mindset believe their abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. They embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and learn from criticism. This mindset is essential for the journey of mastery, as it allows individuals to stay motivated even when progress is slow or difficult. It fosters resilience. To cultivate mastery, it's important to engage in tasks that are optimally challenging, not too easy to be boring and not too difficult to be overwhelming. This is often described as being in a state of flow, a concept popularized by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Flow is that state of complete absorption in an activity where you lose track of time and feel a deep sense of enjoyment and control. This state is most often achieved when your skills are well matched to the challenge at hand, pushing you just beyond your current capabilities. This sweet spot is where growth happens. Therefore, if you want to unlock your inner drive, seek out opportunities to develop mastery in areas that genuinely interest you. break down large goals into smaller, manageable steps. Focus on the process of learning and improvement rather than just the outcome. Celebrate small victories along the way, as these reinforce your sense of progress and competence. The pursuit of mastery is a lifelong journey, but it's one that provides a deep and enduring source of motivation, fulfillment, and personal growth, keeping your inner fire burning brightly. Section 7. Purpose power, connecting to something bigger. Beyond the satisfaction of personal achievement through mastery, there's another profound intrinsic motivator: purpose. This is the desire to contribute to something larger than ourselves, to make a difference in the world, or to be part of a cause that we believe in. When our daily actions are connected to a clear and meaningful purpose, motivation becomes incredibly resilient. Purpose provides context and significance to our efforts, transforming even mundane tasks into contributions towards a valued goal. It answers the fundamental question, why am I doing this? Think about healthcare workers who dedicate their lives to caring for the sick, often under challenging conditions. Their motivation often extends far beyond their paycheck. It's deeply rooted in a sense of purpose, to heal, to comfort, and to save lives. Similarly, educators who strive to inspire and empower their students are often driven by the purpose of shaping a better future. When individuals feel that their work matters and contributes positively to others or to a broader mission, their commitment and engagement soar. This connection fuels extraordinary effort. Organizations that successfully foster a sense of purpose among their employees often see higher levels of motivation, engagement, and performance. This isn't just about grand, world-changing missions. Purpose can be found in providing excellent customer service, in creating products that genuinely improve people's lives, or in contributing to a supportive and collaborative team environment. The key is to clearly articulate the why behind the work and to help individuals see how their specific contributions connect to that larger purpose. This makes work feel meaningful. To harness the power of purpose in your own life, take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What causes do you care about? What impact do you want to have on the world, your community, or even just your immediate family and friends? Aligning your goals and activities with these deeply held values can provide a powerful and enduring source of motivation. When you know your why, the how becomes easier, and the drive to pursue your goals becomes infused with a deeper sense of meaning and fulfillment. This connection is a cornerstone of lasting drive. Section 8. Tool. Building your motivational toolkit, practical strategies. Understanding the theory of motivation is one thing. Applying it to your daily life is another. To consistently tap into your inner drive, it helps to have a toolkit of practical strategies. One effective technique is to set clear, specific, and achievable goals. Vague aspirations like get healthier are less motivating than concrete goals like walk for 30 minutes 3 times a week. Breaking down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps, as discussed with mastery, also makes them feel less daunting and provides more opportunities for experiencing progress, which is a powerful motivator in itself. Another crucial strategy is to cultivate autonomy in your tasks and projects whenever possible. Look for ways to exercise choice and control over how you approach your work or personal goals. This might mean deciding on your own schedule, choosing the methods you use, or having a say in the projects you take on. Even small degrees of autonomy can significantly boost intrinsic motivation. When you feel like the driver of your own actions rather than a passenger, your engagement and commitment naturally increase. This sense of ownership is vital. Creating a supportive environment is also key. Surround yourself with people who encourage you and share your values. Minimize distractions that sap your energy and focus. Design your workspace or home environment to make desired behaviors easier and undesired behaviors harder. For example, if you want to read more, keep a book readily accessible. If you want to eat healthier, keep nutritious snacks visible and less healthy options out of sight. Your environment subtly shapes your behavior, so make it work for your motivation, not against it. This proactive shaping helps. Finally, practice regular self-reflection and celebrate your progress. Take time each week to review what you've accomplished, what challenges you've faced, and what you learned. Acknowledge your efforts and achievements, no matter how small. This not only reinforces positive behaviors, but also helps you adjust your strategies if you're feeling stuck or unmotivated. Remember that motivation isn't a constant, it fluctuates. By regularly checking in with yourself and making small adjustments, you can keep your motivational engine running smoothly and effectively over the long haul. Section 9. Ignite your drive, your path to lasting motivation. The journey to unlocking your inner drive is an ongoing adventure, not a final destination. It begins with understanding that true, sustainable motivation often comes from within. From the intrinsic joy of autonomy, the satisfying pursuit of mastery, and the deep meaning found in purpose. While extrinsic rewards have their place, they are often less powerful and can even be detrimental when it comes to fostering creativity, long-term engagement, and genuine passion. The real key lies in tapping into those fundamental human needs that propel us forward from the inside out. To start igniting your drive today, begin by identifying one small area where you can increase your sense of autonomy. Perhaps it's choosing how you tackle a task at work, or deciding on a new hobby you've always wanted to try. Next, think about mastery. What skill could you commit to improving, even just a little bit each day? The process of learning and growing is itself a powerful motivator. And finally, connect with purpose. How can your actions, no matter how small they seem, contribute to something meaningful to you or to others? Find that link. Remember the stories of those who achieve great things driven by their inner fire, the volunteers, the hobbyists, the innovators. Their experiences show us that when we are intrinsically motivated, we are more resilient, more creative, and more fulfilled. Build your motivational toolkit with clear goals, a supportive environment, and regular self-reflection. Don't be afraid of setbacks. View them as learning opportunities on your path to getting better and understanding what truly drives you. Consistency in these practices will build momentum over time. Ultimately, unlocking your inner drive is about creating a life that aligns with who you are and what you value. It's about finding work and activities that don't just pay the bills, but also feed your soul. It's about moving beyond mere compliance to genuine engagement. The power to motivate yourself, to pursue your goals with energy and enthusiasm, already resides within you. Your task is to discover it, nurture it, and let it guide you towards a more fulfilling and purpose-driven life. Start today, take that first step, and watch your inner drive ignite.